There are rare moments in gaming when you stop feeling like you're playing and start feeling like you're living inside a world. You stop thinking about buttons, HUDs, or graphic settings, and suddenly it's just you and the world in front of you. No hand-holding, no magic arrows, no glowing quest marks, just the dirt, the weather, and the sound of your boots on the road. That's exactly what happened when I decided to replay Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, but this time in Hardc0re mode. It's brutal, it's confusing, it's frustratingly real, and it might just be the most immersive world ever built in a video game. Lately, I've been craving something slower, something grounded. You know that feeling when modern games just start blending together, glowing objectives, cinematic shortcuts, 50 side quests that feel like chores. I wanted the opposite of that, so I went back to Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 before the last DLC came out. A game that already prides itself on realism, patience, and occasionally punishing you for breathing too loud in the wrong village. But I didn't want just a replay, I wanted a challenge. A way to make the experience feel fresh again. That's when I remembered Hardc0re Mode. Now, Hardc0re Mode isn't your standard enemies deal 20% more damage. No, this is the real deal. It strips the game down to its bare essentials. You lose your compass, you lose your map marker, you lose your sense of direction, and you can see health bars, stamina bars, or even where you are on the map. It's you, the open world, and your instincts, or in my case, your complete lack of them. Before I jumped into this medieval misery, there was a slight modern hiccup. My PC was gasping for air. Every time I launched a game, the fans would roll like a war horn announcing my imminent death. So I borrowed my girlfriend's PC. Now, my girlfriend's Brazilian.
Brasil número uno, campeão penta, acima,
Which means she is somehow more passionate about strange horticulture than I am about sword and armor. She bought her PC to play cozy games about identifying plants and sipping virtual tea while rain gently falls outside. And here I am, using her RTX-powered setup to get my rig broken by peasants in the woods. Different genres, same computer, but true harmony. Honestly, it's probably the most wholesome representation of our relationship. Her calm and peaceful, and me screaming because I got ambushed by 3 guys with sticks. But let's stick to the topic. I launched the game, started a new save, and in a brief flash of what I can only describe as divine stupidity disguised as clarity, I decided to pick Bashful Perk. For those who don't know, this perk means you can ask anyone for directions. So not only can I see where I am on the map, but my character is apparently too socially anxious to ask for directions. A bold choice for someone who can't even find north. It's the medieval equivalent of refusing to stop at a gas station when you're lost. Now, I've never been good with orientation. My sense of direction is so bad I could get lost in a straight hallway. So this was already a terrible idea, but hey, how hard could it be? Fast forward 20 minutes, I finished the prologue, head out into the open world, and soon enough, I'm ambushed by bandits. I give it my best shot, which turns out to be terrible, and fall face first into the mud. Welcome to Bohemia. That was my first death. It wasn't cinematic, it wasn't heroic, it was pathetic. And that's when it hit me. This game doesn't care about your ego. The first few hours were rough. I would take quests, get lost on the road, run out of food, and end up sleeping in barns because I couldn't find a tavern. I once spent half an hour walking confidently toward what I thought was a town, only to realize it was the same one I would just left. But weirdly enough, those frustrations became fun. Because every mistake taught me something, not through a tutorial or a tooltip, but through experience. I started paying attention to the terrain, the layout of roads, the patterns of fences and bridges. I learned that following rivers usually led to settlements, that distant church bells meant safety, that if you saw a suspicious campfire at night, maybe and just maybe don't walk straight toward it. And as I struggled, my character grew stronger too. I got a better armor, upgraded my weapons, and eventually started winning fights I would have died in earlier. Every victory felt earned, not because of stats, but because I learned how to survive. Here where Hardc0re Mode really starts to shine. Without the map indicating your position and without a compass to guide you, the world itself becomes your guide. You begin to see it in a different way. The roads aren't just textures anymore, they are landmarks. You recognize the way one splits near a chapel or how another curves around a pond. You remember that a certain oak tree marks the path to a village. You start to memorize the land like a real traveler. And the more you play, the more you realize just how insanely detailed this world is. The map of Bohemia in Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 isn't just big, it's dense. Every location has a purpose, every ruin, every chapel, and farmhouse exists for a reason. The rivers follow realistic geography, the forests are mapped after actual Central European hex systems. And there's this moment I'll never forget. I was completely lost, no idea where I was, and then I spotted a small hunting shack I vaguely remember from hours before. I pulled out the physical in-game map, matched the curves of the river with what I saw in the landscape, and suddenly it clicked. I found myself. And I felt this strange rush, that same satisfaction you get when you finally figure out a real-world map without GPS. It's such a rare feeling in gaming, earning your sense of orientation. But it's not just about getting lost. The lack of convenience makes every step immersive. No fast travel means you feel distance. Traveling from one village to another isn't just a loading screen, it's a journey. You hear your horse's hooves on dirt paths, the birds chirping in the trees, the wind rushing through fields. The time of day changes as you ride. The shadows stretch, the fog rolls in. You start to worry about nightfall because if I can find the village in broad daylight, there's no hope once the sun goes down. There's this low, deliberate rhythm to it, something almost meditative. You begin to care about preparation. You stock up food, repair your suit, polish your armor. You think before leaving town. Do we really need to make this trip? Is it worth it? That mental shift from teleport everywhere to respect the distance completely changes how you experience the world. Suddenly your surroundings aren't background decorations, they're your life. It reminded me how modern open worlds have turned explorations into efficiency. Everything is optimized, marked, measured, and calculated. Kingdom Come says, no, get lost, pay attention, and learn the world. And that's what makes it so special. Now, when there are random encounters without UI pop-ups, they are unpredictable and raw. You'll be trotting through the countryside, maybe humming along the soundtrack when you hear someone shouting in the distance. You stop, you look around. Is it a traveler, a bandit, someone who just needs help? Sometimes it's a trap, a fake merchant luring you into an ambush. Sometimes it's a beggar asking for food, and sometimes you just stumble up into guards arguing in the middle of the road. And sometimes it's nothing, just birds and wine. And the silence itself becomes immersive. One evening I came across a woman crying beside a grave. No quest mark, no dialogue prompt, just a widow mourning quietly in the fading light. I dismounted my horse, stood there watching for a moment, and then kept riding. It didn't give me any XP or gold or anything mechanical, but it mattered. Because in that moment I wasn't playing a mission, I was existing in that world. These small spontaneous moments, that's what immersion really is, when the world feels like living without you. Exploration in Hardc0re Mode becomes something truly unique. Without a GPS arrow telling you exactly where to go, you rely on curiosity. You start exploring not because a quest tells you to, but because something looks interesting. A strange path through the woods, a flicker or firelight, the sound of hammering in the distance. Sometimes you find abandoned huts with forgotten items. Sometimes you stumble into dangerous territory and barely make it out alive. Once I found a quiet pond with no purpose, no quest, no loot, just a perfect reflection of the trees above it. And I stood there for a few minutes, doing absolutely nothing, just existing. It sounds ridiculous, but that's the kind of immersion Hardc0re Mode creates. It slows you down, it makes you notice. The call of the soul, the rhythm of distant bells, the sound of rain in a quiet town, you can practically feel it. When games stop rushing you, you start appreciating them differently. After days of playing this way, wandering, learning, dying, and occasionally screaming at the map, I realized that Hardc0re Mode transformed Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 into something deeper. It's not just a harder version of the game, it's a different game. It's a lesson in patience, observation, and humility. It reminds you that immersion isn't about photorealistic graphics or giant maps, it's about reliability. Reliability, yeah. Every journey feels meaningful, every discovery feels earned, and every mistake feels human. When I finally rode into Gothenburg after a long, exhausting trek through rain and bandit ambushes, I felt genuine relief. I wasn't just completing a quest, I was coming home. That's when I realized that immersion isn't about what the game gives you, it's about what it takes away. Kingdom Come strips you of comfort and in doing so, gives you a presence. Sure, I still get lost constantly, I still die in ridiculous ways, I still occasionally yell at the sky asking what the hell is the nearest town. But the truth is, I've grown to love getting lost because getting lost in this game doesn't feel like failure, it felt like adventure. So if you want to play something that truly makes you feel like you are part of another world, not just a visitor but a resident, try Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 in Hardcore mode. It's unforgiving, it's demanding, but it's also breathtakingly real. And if you did try it, take my advice, don't pick the shy perk, trust me, you will need directions. Thank you for watching, I hope you enjoyed this video, and see you soon, random internet brother.